Good day, and I am truly honored to be a participant in the International Research Conference on Multidisciplinary in Social Sciences and Technology 2025. My name is Anak Augustine Pedang. I'm one of the lecturers from the Department of Petrochemical Engineering, Politeknik Kuching, Sarawak. Okay, here is my presentation outline, introduction or background, to review, problem statements, objective, methodology, data, result analysis, result discussion, and conclusions. In our rapidly advancing world, the management of waste material has become an increasingly critical concern. Bitumen is widely used for constructions of the modern city, used for roads and runaway abandoned tires. And improper storage of waste engine oil can have negative environmental effects and health effects respectively. Current methods of producing bitumen is unsustainable as the present manufacture relies on limited natural resource, which is crude oil. Sustainability can be achieved by avoiding waste tires and waste engine oil to produce bitumen. Okay, here is the background current scenario with Sarawak now transitioning to endemic status. The demand for personal transportation is increasing. This in turn leads to higher consumptions of lubricant oils. Waste tires and engine oil present significant disposal challenges. If not managed correctly, their improper disposal can lead to serious health hazards for humans and cause considerable environmental damage. At the same time, bitumen is widely used in the constructions of roads and runways, making it a valuable material with broad applications. Okay, this is my literature review summary. As you can see here in the table, the whole literature review. Okay, this is the problem statement. The higher number of automotive workshops among Jalan Bantang and Jalan Malika, which is Sarawak, results in a substantial volume of vehicle maintenance activities. This leads to significant waste generation, particularly in the form of waste engine oil and waste tire, both of which pose environmental and health risks if improperly managed. Tires are non-biodegradable. Improperly discarded can collect water, creating ideal breeding grounds for mosquito. Their flammable nature makes them a significant fire hazard. Bitumen is a commonly used product for paving roads. Bitumen originates from crude oil, which is an unrenewable resource that is limited by nature. Here is my objective. There are two objectives in this research. The first one is to compare the physical properties of the modified bitumen obtained through this study to the results of previous research. Second, to analyze and compare the chemical composition of modified bitumen produced in comparison to bitumen available in the market. Okay, this is the methodology. First, preparations of the raw material. Here, waste engine oil and waste tire are collected from nearby workshop. Next, the process is filtrations. The waste engine oil are filtered. And then this filtered oil is placed onto a filter in and post vessel and filtered. The next one is shredding and separation. The tires are shredded to chips. Steel is separated from rubber with magnets, and then the fabric inside the tire separated from rubber. Next, grounding. The tires are then grounded to the size of 2 to 7 mm. Next, screening. Size particles are separated from oversized granules. Those particles more than 10 mm will go for photo grounding. Next, granule mating. 5 mm rubber is further reduced in size to separate fiber from the rubber granule. Next one, the next process is heating. And then the last one is mixing and analyze the sample. Here is the result and data analysis of my study. Okay, table 1 shows the proportions of bitumen from the tire and just engine oil. Sample 1 contains 45 grams of waste engine oil, 5 grams of waste tire, and 17 grams of aluminum oxide. The sample 2 also contains 45 grams of waste engine oil and 10 grams of waste tire and 17 grams of aluminum oxide. So sample 3 contains 45 grams of waste engine oil, 35 grams waste tire, and 17 grams of aluminum oxide. Okay. Table 2 shows the physical properties of sample with comparisons from encounter. As we can see here, for sample 1, is brown and black color. The sample 2, the color is black and slightly brown. In sample 3, the color is pure black. For all the 3 samples, there's no specific validity because we cannot use for the specific validity in this test. Figure 1 shows the FTIR spectra of synthesized sample 1. As we can see here, sample 1 contains sulfoside compound and aromatic compound. And also, here we can see the peak shows contain aromatic and phosphate compound. Figure 2 shows the FTIR spectra of synthesized sample 2. This sample also contains the same compound as the sample 1, which is sulfoside compounds and aromatic compounds. Figure 3 FTIR spectra of synthesized sample 3 also contains the same compound, which is sulfoside compound and aromatic compound. Table 5 shows the FTIR group analysis for sample 1, 2, and 3. And then here is the result discussions from the 3 samples. In the FTIR spectroscopy of each sample, it is found that in all samples there is a presence of germ, dimethyl, methylene group, and methyl group. Sample 1 exhibits spectral characteristics closely aligning with those of waste engine oil. Among the 3 analyzed spectra, sample 3 demonstrates the most pronounced presence of some oxide compounds. Sample 3 exhibits the best bitumen-like properties due to its high concentrations of sulfoside compounds and its pure black color, formations, and its dark colorations when dissolved in benzene. As a conclusion, through this study, it can be concluded that throughout the conversion space, as the weight of waste tire increased, the chemical compositions of the sample came closer in line to that of bitumen, and the physical properties of the sample produced began to exhibit bitumen-like properties. I hope the insight shared today sparked new ideas and further inquiry in your field. For the recommendations, it is highly recommended that any future study employ passive oxide catalysts in the formation space increase the output of bitumen-like material, although literature suggests otherwise. This study was unsuccessful in replicating the results from previous research, and the most acceptable sample was sample 3 due to how dissimilar the sample is compared to the waste engine oil. I think that's all from me. Thank you.